Hey, everybody. How are you doing on this Monday evening? It's time to nerd out. Uh, I am Peter Brown, and I'm flying solo for the moment. We are waiting for Uncle Ed to drop in, but he's running a little bit late tonight. So he has some fun, nerdy type things to discuss tonight with you all. He'll get in when he gets in. He's a busy man. Working late, and so I'll hold down the fort while we wait for Uncle Ed. This is Uncle Ed's show. Really, this is his idea to. We started off just kind of talking up some nerdy type stuff in the regular FMTV weekly soccer show, and it just kind of branched out into doing this. But really, it was Ed. It was his little brainchild, his idea to kind of push along. And glad you guys are here with us. And if you are here with us, say hello in the chat. Say hello. I'd like to know that everybody's in and that everything is working okay. Right? So I'm actually going to check. There it is. I'm checking online, and I just wanted to make sure we are up and running. So give everybody a few seconds to jump in and say hi in the chat, and we'll get this thing rolling. I just ran in from a 4-mile walk. I'm working up to a run, but as of right now, it's just a walk. So, brushing off the sweat, come in here and talk some nerdom stuff with you guys. I see Judge Dredd, the law, is with us. In honor of the geekery, I'm building a few Gundam models. How about that? I have my wife's cousin. She's got her cousin's got a kid, and he loves those Gundam models. I mean, his bedroom, and he's an adult, but he in Legos and those Gundam models that you're talking about. His room is a museum. It's really cool, actually. So, and he's also Judge Dredd is also praying Doctor Doom is in the new Black Panther movie, and that it will be done justice. Yeah, I mean, there's talk that he will be in it. I was just watching some breakdowns about the new trailer, which we have the new trailer. We'll show it in a little bit, hopefully. But how much of Doctor Doom? Do they just sprinkle in a little bit of Doctor Doom in the Wakanda trailer, or not trailer, but I mean in the movie? Because in the trailer he's not in there. But do they just sprinkle him in there, or do they give you a whole lot of Doctor Doom? Not sure. I got a feeling they just sprinkle it in. I think they save the big reveal for whenever they do the Fantastic Four movie, I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, he is a main Fantastic Four villain, right? So it makes sense that he spends more time with that. As always with these shows, here, let me pull up this, even though Ed's not here. It says look weird. And that looks weird too from my... Here, let me fix that. There we go. If you want to jump in the conversation, you want to help me along here, 786-474-4435 is the number. Judge Dredd, enjoying my wall decor in your background. Very Disney-oriented. Yes. These are all ride attraction posters, Pirates of the Caribbean, Space Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain. A few of my favorite rides. Actually, my favorite ride in all of Disney is Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm a huge Disney nut. You guys all know that. And favorite ride, give me a slow-moving boat ride. Some people don't know this, but the idea for Pirates originally was going to be a cowboy ride. It was going to be a walk-through kind of ride and attraction. And it was going to have the similar kind of concept as Pirates, but with cowboys, and the concept evolved to where it was Pirates, and it was still a walk-through attraction. And then they decided that's not really the best setup, so they decided to do the slow-moving boat ride. But they never quite threw away that concept for the cowboy type of thing, and they brought in some of that storyline into Big Thunder Mountain. So Richard Greenberg is in, in the chat cheering on TFC, and then he realizes wrong podcast. Same people, wrong podcast. Exactly. Understandable. So hopefully Ed jumps in with us at any minute. I really do lean on him a little bit, and this is it just seems to be me and Judge Dredd just having a conversation. Why don't you just call? Yes, this is a tauntaun. Look at that. Look at this pop. Now that is a great looking pop. Wouldn't you agree? I have a fairly good collection of Star Wars pops. I showed this one last week. Actually, I brought this. Ed wants me to bring out a toy every week, right? Because he knows I have a bunch. This one, look at this. So this is from Choppers from Star Wars Rebels, but this is one of those special edition, kind of pops that you can't just buy anywhere, or they're harder to find. This kind of sparkly red chopper, kind of cool. Still in the box. I open up a lot of them because I'm not really that big of a collector as much as I just like them. So, Richard Greenberg asking if I was a fan of the latest Dune movie. Yeah, I liked it. It made me want to go and read the Dune books. So, I did like it. It was a little slow, but overall, I liked it a lot. And it's funny because, being such a big Star Wars geek that I am, it's funny to see how much George Lucas kind of ripped off from Dune. The whole concept of Tatooine is clearly that desert planet, Iraq, whatever it's called. The spice that they have is clearly used in Star Wars. I mean, there's so many like little things that George Lucas took from Dune. Now, I had seen the old 80s version, but it's been so long since I saw that. I had forgotten about it. Epic funky pop, Peter from Tank, but you took Han and Tauntaun out of the box. I did. Like I was mentioning before, I have a bunch of Star Wars toys still in the box, and because I was back in the 90s seriously into collecting that stuff. And sometimes what I would do is I'd buy two of something, one to open and one to keep in the box. It gets out of control, got a little crazy. And then that stuff is still sitting in the closet. I have nothing to do with it. I mean, there's only so much. So at some point I said, screw it. I'm just collecting for me. I'm not collecting for resale because there is not a huge value in the resale market of the toys from the 90s. Because that Power of the Force toy series that came out is not a huge resale because everybody was getting into the whole market of collecting. It was the new thing, right? Everybody was collecting. So there's too much merchandise in the market. So there's no value to those collections. I have a ton of it. So I open them for the most part. I mean, I've got a couple that I haven't opened. This is a Luke that my son gave me. I haven't opened up. He also gave me, and it's just over in this closet over here, a really cool that I still have not opened. A really cool Mr. Toad from Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Getting back to Disney rides, which is a ride that is no longer in Disney World, but I did get to ride it in Disneyland back in June, when I was there in June. And that was amazing. My daughter got to go on that for the first time. Tank says, oh, that makes sense. You could hang them all over a wall. Yeah, I could. I could make my office into that. But, it's one of those things. Like, I was explaining to my wife the other day, collecting a little bit, and that I think for me, at my age now, I don't want I've become a bit of a minimalist. I don't want a whole bunch of bric-a-brac everywhere, just collecting dust. So I've got that stuff shoved up in a closet, closed off, and I want to sell it, right? But keep a few items. But the reason I went out and started collecting pops at one point was just because they were small. It's like no big deal. They're small, so it did not take up a whole lot of space. No big deal. And I should load up some pictures. Talking about pops and seeing that I see that Tank likes Bruno likes some pop characters. There is, and I was talking about going to LA and going to Disneyland that I did in June. There, Disneyland has a pop Funko store. They've got a Funko Pop store. It is amazing. I know they've got a few locations around the country. It's amazing. I mean, the pop characters are like 20 feet tall, maybe more, some of them. Humongous themed out rooms with all the pops. So you've got a Star Wars section, you've got a Harry Potter section, a Disney section, everything, everywhere. I mean, a big Flintstones car with the pops in there, and it's an amazing, amazing store. And getting back to this Disney, the Star Wars collect, Kenner had an insane figures for Star Wars. Yeah, and as a kid, so I was a kid in the 70s, and I had some of that stuff. But the funny thing is, my mom didn't buy me a lot of Star Wars toys back then. For whatever reason, she bought me some like Battlestar Galactica toys, which is Star Wars ripoff, right? But I enjoyed it. It was great, having the Cylon ship, the Cylon Raider, and then having some Cylon toys and stuff like that. I had those, but I didn't get a lot of Star Wars toys. I had to go to my friend's house and play with his Star Wars toys and destroy those. But I didn't get a lot of Star Wars toys as a kid, so that was interesting little thing. Tank loves the Funko Pops, how they can make them out of everything and throwbacks like that. Yep. Ed says he's here and he's trying to get in. Well, Ed, I would love for you to get in. I'm waiting for you to get in. And actually, Judge Dredd, if I go up into this closet now, so in this house, I've got a couple closets that are so high. They're really high up. I've got tall ceilings, really high closets. I got to get up my big old 6-foot ladder in order to get up on these in these closets to get stuff out. But I think I have a Cylon Raider toy. I'm pretty sure I do. But see, the difference is mine was a remake that they made in the 90s or 2000s, and the little they had these little red torpedoes that would fire out. But then in the 70s or 80s, when they was making those toys, kids were swallowing those little things. They're shooting them in their mouth or whatever and choking and all that stuff. So then the later iteration, they didn't fly out. They just kind of did this, and that was it. So I got that somewhere. Did they ever make Spaceball figures? That would be epic. I don't know. I never saw Spaceball figures. Now, that's a great movie, right? May the Schwartz be with you. How many a-holes are there in this place? Yeah, that was a classic. Great movie. I saw that in the theaters. I remember seeing that in young adult, when I was a young adult. Still waiting on Ed. Ed said he was trying to get in. I'm not sure what the deal is. But we can continue talking about toys if you guys want to. But speaking of some of this stuff, I gotta recommend a show to you guys. It's this one right here, and I'll just take off with the camera. Light and Magic. You guys need to watch Light and Magic. It's on Disney Plus, and it's all about ILM. It's all about George Lucas creating a show. I'm sorry, a company so that he could create Star Wars, and then keeping the company going just so he could develop more technology and keep the artists and the engineers busy while he's writing the next Star Wars movie and opening it up to make other movies like Terminator and stuff like that. So this is a great documentary type of show. It's 6 episodes. I just finished it. Finished it yesterday. Crushed it over the last couple days. You got to see that. Good stuff. Ed, you say you're waiting. It's not ringing. It's not ringing, Ed. So I don't know. We might be flying solo. If I'm flying solo, we're doing it a little shorter today. But Ed says he's trying to get in, and on my end, when he would call in, it's not ringing. So I'm not sure what kind of issues he may be having on his end. No, it's the same link, Ed. Same link you used last week, and so which was the same link we do for the soccer show. One of the things that Ed and I wanted to talk about was Prey. Did you guys see the movie Prey? Let me remove this one. Did you guys see the movie Prey? It was on Hulu. So, Judge Dredd. Ed forgot to pay that internet bill. No, in all honesty, it's sometimes he and I once in a while have a little bit of a little issue of him getting in. Most of the time it's smooth. Once in a while it's not. And but that's generally happening at the beginning of the show. And sometimes what I'll have to do is I'll have to quit my program that I'm running the show on. So it could be that, but I can't do that when in the middle of the show. Anyways, Prey is a new version of Predator. Bruno says he just saw it and he wants to get our take on the film. I liked it. I didn't love it. So I've heard, people saying how it's an amazing film, right? And I don't think it's amazing. I thought it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was fun. It was different. And I liked how his bows and arrows against a predator with his, all his technology and stuff and bows and arrows, spoiler alert, went out. But Richard says he hasn't seen it, but everyone seems to like it. Yeah, so I won't spoil too much of it, but overall, I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked the girl in it. She was great. The actress in this was great. Judge Dredd says Prey was surprisingly good. I actually liked it, especially with the timeline being more 18th century. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, and it did well. So it begs the question: should they have released it in the theater? Should they have given this a theater release? It was cool that I got to see it for free, sitting on my couch. Watched it, I think, on Friday, Saturday, something like that. And yeah, it was good. It would be interesting to hear Ed's take on this, but again, he's having a hard time getting into the show. Do you guys think there'll be another sequel? I do. I think there will definitely be a sequel. It did well enough. People are talking about it. It's getting critically acclaimed. People like it. And so, yeah. And going back, I see somebody commenting on this. Judge Dredd saying, Light and Magic named after ILM Genius by George Lucas. Yeah. So it's documentary all about ILM. Tank saying Uncle Ed call in. He's trying. He says he was waiting. Let me see if I can. Let me see one thing, guys. Copy the link. Let me go to my phone here and just see if that helps. I just chatted him the link again. See if that helps. Back to Prey. Steve Munoz is in the house, and he says, "How about a different time period like feudal Japan, Predators versus Samurais?" So that'd be an interesting take. Is each new film be in a different timeline? So seeing how they mess around with different, eras. I guess that could be cool. I think they'll probably, if they do a sequel, it would continue in the same timeline. So I thought it was cool how they, at one point in the movie, you see some, I'm curious about how far I want to go with. I don't want to spoil it for someone like Richard, but there's some European, I guess. I don't know if they're French. Maybe I don't know where they're from, but they speak a different language, and they're hunting and stuff like that. And so they're more brutal in some ways than the Predator is, which was interesting. Ed saying he's trying to get in, but Peter wants to do the show alone. No, Peter wasn't as prepared as Uncle Ed is. See, I'm more prepared for the soccer show than I am for this one. And Richard says they're French traders. Maybe you would you understand them, Richard? Do you speak French? I didn't understand. Oh, again, so everybody knows they speak French except for me. Everybody knew. Everybody knows French but me. I didn't know they were French. I just knew they were obviously European of some sort. Anyways, the other show, I know I mentioned this. I'm curious, what show are you guys watching? What would you recommend that we check out and maybe talk about? Next week, obviously, we'll talk about She-Hulk, because She-Hulk is premiering this Thursday. So we'll have She-Hulk to talk about next week. We'll have at least one episode. I'm not sure if they're releasing one or if they're releasing a couple episodes or not. But the show that I was watching, I talked a little bit about it last week, but I finished it, which was Sandman. And let me fix a few things. I finished watching Sandman. Did anybody watch Sandman? Sandman, I thought the first 4 episodes were really good, and then I thought it was a big drop off. And for me and my sensibilities, it got a little weird. It got a little weird on me, and I don't know. So it was good, but it got a little weird. Interesting take there, Judge. We need another Tron movie. Now, I would say I think you are probably guaranteed to get another Tron movie, because Disney, if you don't know, they're building a Tron roller coaster in Orlando right now. It's getting close. Looks like it's close to being open, but probably sometime next year. It's the same ride that they built in Shanghai. It was popular and it did well in Shanghai. And exactly, Richard saying that Tron roller coaster looks good. Yeah, you could go on YouTube and see the roller coaster in Shanghai. We're getting the basically exact copy. So the fact that they're spending all this money on the Tron roller coaster, Disney wants to continue the franchise then and keep it going. Disney in the parks has pretty much got a simple rule these days, at least with this current management, is that everything has to be IP tie-in, and they're not building any original storyline attractions. They're not building any Pirates of the Caribbean. I know you'd think Pirates of the Caribbean is based on a movie. No, it's the other way around. Movie's based on a ride. They're not building any new Big Thunder Mountains or Space Mountains, any things that have no tie-ins to movies. I mean, there was a rumor that they were going to turn Space Mountain into a Buzz Lightyear themed roller coaster. They were going to do an overlay, a reskin of Space Mountain. At least they were talking about this in California, but the Buzz Lightyear movie tanked, and so that's definitely not happening. And now there's actually talk about there being a Space Mountain movie, which then the ride that is not tied to an IP becomes an IP. Anyways, long way to say Disney is invested in keeping Tron alive, so I think we will definitely see a Tron movie. Let me see about doing something. I want to try to see something if I can get Ed in. Ed, why don't you call the? We can get the audio of Ed. Ed, why don't you try calling our phone number, which is call 786-474-4435. And I will answer the phone, and we'll bring him on through the phone. So we'll see if Ed can just pick up the phone and join in that way. It's better than me just sitting here drowning. So, Judge, I take it you did like the remake. I thought the remake was pretty good, but it wasn't great. But it was pretty good. And Ed, it says you tried to get in on the phone. Well, it didn't work because I had it on going straight to voicemail. I turned that off, so it should work now. So you should be able to call. What if we do this? Let me try this, guys. Let me try this. Let's see if we can get Ed on the phone. Everybody. Do we need some dialing music? Can I get some dialing music? Can somebody do some dialing music for me? Oops, sorry, wrong number. That didn't work. So, anyways, Ed, try calling in the phone number here. That what I was just trying didn't work. All right. Let's try this. One. I can't see the numbers. I know this is amazing show here, guys. All right, so how about that? Let's try to get Ed on the phone.
Oh, so you can actually call me.
I can. Welcome to the show, Ed.
People can actually listen to me?
Everybody can hear you, Ed.
Oh, right. You should put up a picture. One of my good pictures, though.
I mean, I wasn't prepared, Ed, for you to not be able to get in on the show. I don't have a photo.
Just It's all good. It's all good. Well, I saw you already talked about Prey. I just wanted to give my...
Yeah, give me your thoughts on Prey. Bruno specifically was interested on your thoughts on Prey.
Yeah, I was surprised it was pretty good, man. I mean, it wasn't Academy Award winning type of thing, but it was entertaining, and I liked the actress. She did a really good job. She improvised the weapon there, so she can get her axe back. And sorry, guys, spoiler alert, by the way.
See, I was trying not to spoil it, but you would go ahead and spoil it.
Nah, I just thought that was really cool. That they used something a little bit different. There was a chance. I didn't think she would actually beat the guy. I hate to say it, but she did some really cool maneuvers, and I think she would have had a chance to get him earlier. But I think it's good that she found out, that she could use some things. I'm not going to tell everything, but she used some stuff to her advantage.
She was smart. That was the thing. Yeah, she was super smart. And she, the movie a bit to some extent was her journey in becoming a better warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning, you remember she was terrible at it. And this is her journey. And she was smart.
Yeah, she almost got killed by a lion. So that was, a mountain lion. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. and there were some sad parts. But yeah, the guys that he was fighting, that she was that captured her and all that, they were French. Apparently, it was in the plains or something. It was part of the
All right,
Louisiana Purchase.
fine.
Later on.
Everybody
So
knows they're French, but me. I'm the big dumb
yeah,
one.
So yeah, man. So but yeah, it's cool, man. And there's so much potential now for more movies, and it doesn't have to be exactly this timeline. But imagine, I was talking with one of my friends at work. We were kind of I don't think he's seen it before. He hasn't seen it, but he was saying that imagine if they go back into the samurai days. That's a shout out to my friend Carlos at work. He came up with that idea. I was like, wow, that would really be cool if he goes against some samurais, and how do you like that?
Yeah, that was mentioned in the chat too. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, I didn't see that, but there's a lot of potential, man. I think they reactivated
Yeah.
this franchise.
There definitely will be a sequel for sure.
Hmm.
Richard Greenberg is saying that Prey director did 12 Cloverfield Lane, and that movie yeah, Richard really liked. I looked him up that he did a few other things. I hadn't seen. I know about 12 Cloverfield Lane, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
and
Richard's got those connections. He knows a lot of these directors and
yeah,
stuff. He's
yeah,
kind of involved
yeah, he knows
with
a lot.
the entertainment industry.
You know what I'll tell you what he doesn't know is
What
Disney
does he
ride
know?
information.
Oh.
Richard Greenberg
Well,
asks the question, isn't Big Thunder Mountain based on that very controversial Disney movie Song of the South? Wrong, sir. You are incorrect. That is Splash Mountain.
oh, look at that. Oh, Peter knows his Disney, that's for sure.
Splash Mountain is themed not on Song of the South, but on some Song of the South characters. So there is no Uncle Remus in it, and Song of the South is the only movie that Disney has banned themselves. They will not play it. They've decided that years ago that they put it in the old vault and it will never come out. And due to today's world and today's sensitivity or just way of thinking and all that kind of stuff, just maybe we're more mature, maybe we're whatever it is, but they are retheming Splash Mountain to Princess and the Frog, and it'll go down next year, and will be rethemed to Tiana's Place. So Tiana's
Wow.
Splashdown or Tiana's something. I forget the exact name of what the ride is going to be, but no, sir, Big Thunder Mountain is not based on the Song of the South. Big
You
Thunder
are a
Mountain is an
total
original story.
Peter, you are a total Disney nerd, man. That's just, if I had the sound for the Revenge of the Nerds laughing, I'd totally put that on right now.
Mm-hmm. Judge Dredd say, Peter bringing out that Disney history knowledge. Look, I love soccer. I love Star Wars. I love a lot of things nerd, but I think Disney is above all that. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
We would be doing a Disney podcast if Ed gave a damn about Disney. But,
I just don't know that as much as you do about it. So
yeah.
I'm okay with you bringing it up, and because you're actually schooling me on all things Disney. But
Mm-hmm.
that's I just can't keep up with you, man. You're just all about Disney.
Yeah, I've read a bunch of the old Disney books, and I am a bit, I do like the history of Disney. So when you go to Disney with me, Ed, I'm either super interesting because I know tons of information, or I'm really annoying. I don't know which one.
Well, we're gonna have to do that one day. So I'll tell you, and I'll tell everybody in the show. Okay, we finally did it. We went to Disney together, and Peter was entertaining, or he was nerdy as hell.
Yeah.
And annoying.
Richard Greenberg asking my thoughts on Universal Studios and Harry Potter. Harry Potter almost was a Disney product. Not the movies, but as far as its theme park rights, Ed, they were in negotiation with Disney first. But J.R. Rollins, or whatever her name is, what's her name?
Yeah, I think you got it right.
Did I
Just call her JR.
Is it JR as in like who shot JR from
Yeah,
the old
just
show
go with that.
Dallas?
That's what I'm just saying. Just go with that. Yeah.
Wow.
A
Anyways,
little fan corrected. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, she didn't like the way Disney was talking about handling. She didn't want, for example, Mickey Mouse walking around the theme park in Harry Potter robes, and Disney would do that.
Oh,
And
they would totally do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so she didn't feel like Disney was going to handle it with the proper respect. And maybe
Mhm.
they would, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. And so it went to Universal. J.K. Rowling. That's it. I knew
There
J.R.
you go.
J.R. didn't sound right.
I
but
like JR better. Just stick with JR.
I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I
Mhm.
did go. I've been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter many, many, many times at Universal Studios, and it's amazing.
Dear God, you're a nerd.
But listen, Ed,
Oh my goodness.
this is like so Universal has always done the theming less than Disney, right? Their theming in their
Right.
park has always been a little bit less than Disney until Harry Potter. Harry Potter, they went and did Disney level of theming better than Disney.
Mhm.
They out Disneyed Disney on the level
Wow.
of theming. That is very, very immersive. It's amazing. So they did a great
Incredible.
job. Even if you don't like Harry Potter, you will love and enjoy.
Yeah, it's hilarious. My brother, I think he's seen all of them, but I only watched the first one, and after that, I lost interest.
And since you're not physically in this thing, this is quickly turning into a theme park show. Bruno is asking if there isn't there going to be a Nintendo Land. So they built a Nintendo Land already in Universal Studios Japan. It looks amazing.
Wow.
And another level of theming. It's so good. It's so good. They're currently building a smaller version in Universal Studios Hollywood, a much smaller version, just like one ride, I think, the Mario Kart ride. And they're currently building Epic Universe, which will be Universal's fourth theme park here in Orlando, because they count their water park as a theme park. So technically their fourth theme park in Orlando. And in the Epic Universe, there will be a larger Nintendo Land there.
Wow. Well, what about there is a Peppa Pig.
And I've heard you've been there, haven't you, or your family's been
there? I haven't. My wife went. I didn't get the day off or whatever, so she went with the grandkids and they loved it. So, I kind of have I got to go check out the Peppa Pig, man.
Yeah, my brother was just
Gotta
there.
give it some love.
My brother was just there to hang out with Peppa. He says it's a cool little park. Richard Greenberg is saying, I'm surprised Peter doesn't do a Disney Universal theme park show. I would, but my partner in crime here, it would just be me educating you and you just going, oh wow.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, you're a nerd. You're a nerd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh good. Oh wow. Universal. Wow. Yeah. That'd be basically it.
Yeah.
So, woo, wow.
You know who we could get, if we want to do at least an episode or two of a little deeper dive in the theme parks, bring in our buddy from Canesware, Ken, and he does a little travel agency work. I think he's a big Disney nut as well. So.
Oh goodness. Well, I think you guys could enjoy talking. I'll just be like, wow, you guys are nerds.
Yeah. Richard's right there with me, though. He's been to the Disney parks in California, Florida, and France. I've never been to France.
Wow.
I would love. I just went to the California parks for the first time just recently. So,
didn't they have a Japan one too?
Yeah, they've got two parks in Japan. They've got the Disneyland park there, and then Disney Sea. And Disney Sea is considered by many to be the most amazing, the best theme park in the world. So
really,
yeah. And the
Peter, you got to go.
I know. The thing that's interesting about the Japan one is that Disney doesn't own it. And
really,
no, Japan just pays a franchising fee to Disney, and they use all the Disney. There's a lot of rules that they have to follow, but Disney puts no money in. They just make money off of it. So it's the Oriental Land Company that actually owns Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea. And so they have no problem where Disney as a corporation sometimes struggles on getting the board to approve spending money. This
Yeah.
Oriental Land Company has no problems, you know, um, spending money. Well, hang on, Ed. Just
Hmm.
buckle your seatbelt in, because now Steve Munoz is asking, who's been to a Disney cruise?
Oh boy, he just had to go there.
Ed, this is not
He
the show.
had to go
This is
there.
not the show you prepared for us
Oh
to do.
man, this is. It's because I wasn't able to get in there. That's why. You hijacked the show. You molded it into what you always wanted it to be. So you had to kick me out.
Maybe. Steve Munoz, I have been to a Disney cruise. I've been to 2 Disney cruises, 2 7-night Disney cruises. I went on Disney Magic and on the Disney Fantasy. And now they've got the Disney Wish out. But, currently it's not in my budget to go anytime soon. Super expensive. And the prices keep going up. But amazing. The level of service you will get on the Disney cruise blows everybody away. So that's why people go.
We had a conversation about this. We were discussing with our friend Julio Caballero, what the best cruise lines were, and you guys were just going at each other.
Yeah, he hasn't done Disney. People think that you have to love Disney to go on a Disney cruise, and it helps, but you don't have to. Actually, my first Disney cruise, how when you go on a cruise, Ed, I'm not sure how many you've been on, if you've been on any, but you end up talking to people, and you sit at tables with people that you don't know, and you end up having a conversation. Right. So the first day I'm there, sit down at this table. There's an older gentleman, clearly looks retired, or at least he should, because otherwise too old to be working. He shouldn't be working anymore. Anyways, enjoying himself. And I asked him, I said, hey, so you here with your grandkids? He said, no. I said, oh, okay. You here with your kids? No. Okay. I said, well, I have to ask you, why are you on a Disney cruise? Because Disney cruise is synonymous with family cruising. And he said, service. Simple as that. Service. And they have plenty of adult-only areas. Service was amazing.
So that was the conversation you had with Hulu. Hulu had never been. He's never been on a Disney,
and he has no
either,
interest.
So
he has no interest. He just looks at it like it's way overpriced. And until you go, I guess you can't fully understand. And so it is overpriced. I'm not going to argue it's overpriced. But so is an Apple computer, and I buy with that. Right? You want the best, you have to pay for it. Apple computers, Apple products are way overpriced. But guess what? We get them because they're good. Same thing with a Disney cruise. It's the apple of the seas.
Gotcha. The apple of the seas. I like that. Well, yeah. I mean, what can you say? Well, my wife definitely wants to go on a Disney cruise, so I got to save up my money for that one. And, I tried dressing up as Mickey Mouse once, and it didn't work out, man. I'm telling you.
That was drunk. Yeah, because I was busted up, Mickey. Busted Mickey.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. But here I am. So I was trying to, give a little, surprise her or whatever, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I guess I look like Mickey.
Richard, continuing the Disney talk, says, how bad is that new Disney Star Wars hotel for $5,000? So I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I would not say it's bad. I would say it's amazing. Is it way overpriced? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
but it looks
$5,000 a night.
So no, it's the way it works is it's they're treating it like it's a cruise. And so when you go on a cruise, most of the time a cruise is for 2 people. So you may pay $5,000, for example, for a week-long cruise, and it's going to be that's 2 people in a room, right? So this is the same thing, but it's only 2 nights. So it's $5,000. That includes I think it's 2 people or maybe 3 people, and the number goes up. The amount of people you bring on your cruise, because it's treating it kind of like a cruise. You're going cruising through space, but it's 2 nights and that's it. So the same price that you pay for that Star Wars hotel, you basically could go on a Disney cruise for basically a week. So a few days less. You're going to only get 2 days, but it looks amazing though. So I can't say it's bad, and some people say it's flopped. I don't think so. I think it's doing well. But it's way overpriced. It is way overpriced. Like what Judge Dredd says, at that price, I sense a disturbance in the force. Millions of dollars cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
Oh man,
I was very
he's up there
creative there,
nerding
Judge.
like you are. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
creative there, Judge. So Ed, I know one of the things we got to get off this Disney talk because I mean I'll do it all night. One of the things you wanted to talk about was the new Wakanda movie.
Yeah, guys, and I think it's pretty interesting. You know, we haven't broken down the preview, so I was telling Peter, why don't we break it down a little bit because it's I think it's really interesting. Just a spoiler alert for people that don't know, but the main character, the Black Panther himself, he passes away also in this from an illness in this movie apparently, and so somebody's taking over for him, and it looks like, and Peter mentioned it last time we kind of talked about this, that it looks like his sister's the one that's taking the mantle because in the picture that they showed, it was the person that was inside, it kind of looked like a female's body.
Yeah, there's one shot that they keep showing from behind, and everybody keeps saying it's definitely her especially because there's like gold accents, and that's her style of things. But so she's definitely, it sounds like she's going to at least spend a little bit of time in the suit. But there was another promotional poster that we looked at and we had on the show, and it looked like a dude. So I don't know if there's multiple Black Panther people in the suit. I'm not sure. Or was that just like a promo shot, right? And you couldn't tell, and it wasn't film related, right? You know, it wasn't film used shot. But
right.
We can, if you want, Ed, we can play the trailer. I mean, you can't see it, but you have already watched it.
Well, no, I'd see it because I'm watching you on Facebook right now, and it's on mute.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So why don't
and it's almost exactly on. So
all right. So let's let's play the trailer for everybody.
Do it.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Hey, little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry.
I hope they can hear it because I can't hear anything.
Good friends we have and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So
at this point, it looks like a sad movie. The way they're starting it off here.
Oh wait, somebody's pregnant. That's baby Panther right there. Hey, Ryan Coogler.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
And when I wake up,
All right, that looks pretty cool. I like that little Wakanda Forever. I mean, that was kind of cool.
Oh, I wasn't able to listen to it unfortunately because I have to put some otherwise you're gonna sound weird and so. But no, it looks like it's gonna be one hell of a movie, man. But I'm wondering how they're gonna tie it all in. With his personality. The the baby thing, I imagine he had a relationship with somebody, and probably had a kid. So that's probably the future right there.
Yeah, that would be
Black
in
Panther.
another movie or two, unless they're going to find some way to speed up his aging, right?
Yeah. Which is doable. They'll probably do it. Knowing they'll come up with something.
Yeah. Judge Dredd is saying he heard rumors. It could be Killmonger. Could have been Killmonger, but that would be odd and kind of forced. Oops. He says he'd rather see it be Shuri or someone different, not M'Baku, as I like the character as he is. From what I understand, from what I was watching some breakdown things, it's the same thing you were watching, Ed. It sounds like there's a theory that Killmonger could be in the movie, but in that whole kind of like realm where when they're sitting there, they get that purple stuff they drink and they trip balls, and
yeah, because didn't he die?
Yeah, he did.
Or did he not? Didn't he die? Oh, okay, well, yeah. So that would make sense.
Yeah, he died, and so he it doesn't sound like he'll be in the real world. He'll be in that alternate, drug infused world. So
right, yeah, thing that they do that really isn't good for Disney, but it's Marvel, so it's okay.
Steve Munoz thinks that underwater birthing baby scene is tied to Namor, not Black Panther. It's possible. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see the movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I like the whole look that they got for Atlantis. I think it's pretty cool. Kind of like that Aztec or a Maya look to it, and so I think that's pretty cool. I thought they're going to have somebody else as the actor for Namor, but whatever, it's all good. He looks pretty cool, and I think we had spoken about it before, Peter, but apparently Dr. Doom is the one that is working behind the scenes,
right,
to make this happen. So I don't know if he's going to come out in the movie, or if he's going to just make a cameo, or they'll make reference to him, but I think down the line he's a culprit.
Yeah, I mentioned this a little bit in the beginning. I think he's maybe he's seen in it, but they're probably sprinkling him in little by little, kind of what they've done with in some of the other movies, where they just kind of tease little things and then they bring them out a few movies later. So I think that's possible. Richard Greenberg saying we need X-Men news. Maybe at D23? Could there be some at D23 in September next month? So
they're kind of. I think they've kind of mentioned them a little bit, like but I'm sure in the next few movies they'll sprinkle some stuff in, like Peter was saying.
Yeah, and they already have with Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, spoiler, in the final episode is mentioned that she's a mutant. And so it's the first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe they've used the word mutant, because they weren't allowed to use it before until they bought 20th Century Fox. They couldn't use it. So that was I'm pretty sure it's the first time they ever actually used the word mutant, because they would use some other terms to try to describe that. So and Kevin Feige did say something about not wanting to wait too long for X-Men. He didn't want to wait till, say, phase 5 or 6, that he wants to happen sooner rather than later. And now they didn't mention it at Comic-Con, but they have to save some things for their own convention, which is D23.
Right. So yeah, that's gonna be kind of cool. We'll definitely have a show about that.
Absolutely. Richard is saying Universal had the movie rights to Namor along with the Hulk. I wonder if Disney got the rights back. So I did see a headline. I did not get a chance to read the article, just was too busy. But there was a headline that I saw that Disney, as of next year, could get the rights to the Hulk back, to where they have the rights to the Hulk now as in like a side character, but they cannot make a Hulk standalone movie currently. And the headline said that could be changing. I didn't read the article, so I didn't dig into it to find out what the details were. But maybe you say there's a chance.
There's a chance. Oh man.
People, I think, are ready for a Hulk movie, but they don't. Nobody wants the smart Hulk. Everybody wants Hulk smash. He's got to be back to Hulk smash.
I want a World War Hulk. That's what I want to see. Everybody against, the Illuminati against him, trying to get rid of him, and then him coming back, and that's what we need. Some destruction.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you want
to Hulk taking on all those guys.
And Tank Bruno mentioning something about he likes Hugh Jackman, but he wants to get an actor more like the '90s cartoon. He was savage. They're gonna. I think when they bring it back X-Men, it's gonna be all new actors. I don't think I think Hugh Jackman's done. I think Disney's gonna want to cast all new cast, all new actors for their X-Men. What they look like. A lot of
people are liking the guy from The Boys.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Carl Urban.
What's that guy's name? The Carl Urban. Yeah. A lot of people think that he would make a good Wolverine.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
He's a good actor, man. Because he looks completely different when he's playing Bones in the Star Trek movies.
Right.
Because that's the same guy.
Yeah, he did it.
And he looks totally different.
Yeah.
Acts totally different.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He was also Judge Dredd in the remake of Judge Dredd.
Mm-hmm. He's done all sorts of projects, and he's doing good, man. I wish I was on camera so people could see my ugly mug. Yeah,
well, we'll hopefully get it figured out next week. It always when you jump in the show a little bit after it, there's always a chance that this could happen. Usually if we have these kind of issues, we work them out in the beginning before anybody sees it. So
yeah. Fiddlesticks. At least people get to hear me.
But we made it work out. And it's a bit of a train wreck of a show, but I think we had fun. I think, Ed, I got to be honest, I think I saved the show with all my Disney talk. And
unfortunately, you're right,
I think with that, and based on the conversations that I had with some of the people in the chat, I think what that means basically is we need more Disney talk.
Oh, boy. Well, if we can talk about Peppa Pig, I'm okay with that.
Equal time to Peppa Pig.
Okay, there we go. Maybe we should do that. We should go with the wives to the theme parks and do some videos.
I'm down.
I'll force you to go see Peppa Pig.
I'm not going to Peppa Pig, dude. I'm too old. I'm not paying to go.
Come on, man.
I don't have.
I'll let you borrow a grandkid.
That's it. I need one of your grandkids.
I'll let you borrow a grandkid. I got 3 of them now.
I'd take my niece who just came back from Peppa Pig. She liked it, but yeah. When my daughter was a toddler, I definitely would have taken her. I took her to Legoland, which is right next door. But
right.
But she's now just about to turn 18, so she's a little outgrown Peppa Pig too. So
yeah.
But Disney, I'm down. So
that's for sure. We got to do that one.
Judge Dredd said, one heck of a great show. And then Richard coming at me, is Peter a secret Orlando City fan? No, but I do.
Oh, I think he is.
No, but
I think he is.
I do like the theme parks that happen to be there. So
I see him moving in the future.
Well, that's always a
possibility. And then we're going to be fighting. We're going to be fighting because he's going to be an Orlando City fan.
That is always a possibility. But
Benedict Arnold.
But it would not be. It would. I think you can live in another city and still support your team. So I would definitely.
Least you could do.
I would if for whatever reason I retire and move to Orlando, so I could go to the theme parks every day. It's possible. I would still be an Inter Miami fan. I would still be an Inter Miami
and you
fan.
would go every day to the theme parks. I could see you doing that.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I would definitely. I've joked around saying, I want to be that old man that works at Disney that just gives away Disney magic or gives away the little, stickers to the kids and make them smile. I could do that. So anyways.
Yeah.
We can't get away. We're basically done here, but there's been some soccer talk in the chat. Can't get away from that. There's an interesting thing that did happen. Richard Greenberg is mentioning it here. Are they moving the Miami versus Orlando game? I heard something about that today. Yeah, I think they moved it to, what was it, October 4th or 5th or
On
something like
Wednesday.
that. And it's
Yeah,
due
it's
to the
Wednesday.
U.S. Open Cup. So they
Which we hope they lose.
right, of course. But
Go Sacramento.
yeah, the game, the September 4th game, I guess it is. Was it 4th? Was too close to the final 5th. So it was too close to the final. So they moved it to October.
Peter,
5th.
I got to mention Faye Love Brown over here on Facebook is asking, what's a Pep's Pig?
That's my sister, by the way. And
Oh. What's a Pep's Pig?
Peppa Pig. Get up with the tell her to get to pay more attention to the toddler TV.
Yeah.
Hey, she's not that far away from there where she's located. It's not that far away, so she can go there. Anyways, hey guys, we got to wrap it up. Thanks so much for everybody for following along, playing along with this train wreck of a show. It was fun. We pulled it out. It did get better, however, when Ed jumped in. It's more fun to have someone to talk to than, so it was definitely better.
Peppa Pig. Yeah.
And if Ed shows up on time next week, we won't have these difficulties.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Stupid work gets in the way.
Yeah, I know. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.